Someone is quietly planning a future with you. Right now, somewhere in your life, there is someone who has been thinking about you more than you realize. Not in a loud way, not in the obvious attention seeking way you might expect. It's quieter than that. It happens in small pauses during their day, when something reminds them of you for no clear reason. A sentence you once said, a look on your face, the way you handled something difficult with calm strength. And every time it happens, they feel the same steady pullback toward you. Here's the part you might not believe. They're not drawn to you because you're perfect. Not because you've impressed them. Not because you match some ideal they were searching for. They're drawn to you because they've seen parts of you that most people overlook completely. They've seen how much you carry. Not the visible responsibilities everyone talks about, but the emotional weight, the quiet effort, the invisible pressure, the way you hold yourself together even when you're tired in ways you don't show. Most people see your capability and assume you don't need anyone. They see your independence and assume you prefer being alone. They see your composure and assume life is easy for you. But this person didn't stop at the surface. They notice the moments your energy dips for just a second. The way your voice changes when you're overwhelmed, but hiding it. How you sometimes withdraw slightly while still being present for everyone else. They see the strength, yes, but they also see the cost of that strength. And instead of admiring you from a distance, it moves them. Because what they see isn't someone invulnerable. They see someone resilient, who has carried more than people realize, and still chose kindness, still chose to keep showing up. And something about that stays with them. It creates this quiet determination inside them. If I ever get close to this person, I want to make their life gentler. Not easier, they know you're capable. Not controlled, they respect your independence. Gentler, they imagine being someone you don't always have to be strong around. You know what's different about how they feel? They're not thinking about what you can give them. They're not imagining how you'll improve their life or fill a gap inside them. They're thinking about how they can stand beside you without adding more weight to your shoulders. When they picture being with you, they don't imagine perfect days. They imagine real ones. You coming home drained. You overthinking something late at night. You trying to handle everything alone out of habit. And in every version of that future, they're there in simple ways. Taking care of something before you ask. Noticing your exhaustion before you explain it. Sitting beside you without pressure to talk. Because to them, love isn't intensity. It's relief. It's being the place where you can finally exhale fully. But here's why you might not recognize this yet. This is someone careful with feelings. Someone who doesn't attach lightly. Who doesn't promise quickly. Who takes commitment seriously enough to hesitate before stepping forward. So if you've sensed distance or quietness, it's not confusion about you. It's caution about themselves. They wonder, can I really be what this person deserves? Because they see your heart as something rare. They know you've been disappointed before. They know you've given more than you received. They know you've stayed when others didn't. And the last thing they want is to become another person who hurts you. So instead of rushing in, they prepare. They observe. They understand. They make sure their intentions are steady. Because if they step toward you, they want it to be lasting. They notice things about you others miss completely. How you listen fully when someone speaks. How you remember small details people forget. How you carry emotional responsibility quietly without asking for recognition. They see how much you give while pretending it costs nothing. And somewhere deep inside them is a simple, powerful thought. If I ever get to love this person, I want to be where they finally rest. Not because you're fragile, but because you've been strong for so long. Your resilience doesn't intimidate them. It humbles them. Your independence doesn't threaten them. It inspires them. They don't want to take over your life. They want to walk beside it, share burdens, share decisions, share ordinary days. Because the future they imagine with you isn't dramatic. It's peaceful. Waking up beside you on quiet mornings. Comfortable silence while you both start the day. Small routines that become meaningful over time. They picture you laughing after exhausting days. Leaning on each other during hard seasons. Handling problems as partners instead of opponents. No emotional guessing. No instability. No wondering where you stand. Just steadiness. And to them, that steadiness is the deepest form of love. They also sense where some of your pain comes from. From being misunderstood. From giving deeply to people who couldn't match it. from hoping someone would choose you fully and not being chosen the same way back. And they want to love you differently, with consistency instead of confusion, with actions that match words, with presence that doesn't disappear when things get hard. They don't want you to question your place in their life. They want you to feel secure, especially on days you doubt yourself, because what draws them most to you is not your strength alone. It's your softness that survived everything. You remained kind, even when life was harsh. You remained open, even after disappointment. You remained capable of love, even after experiencing its absence. And they see that and feel something almost protective toward it. Not possessive, protective. They want to be someone who adds safety to your world, not another reason to guard your heart. When they imagine loving you, it's not about changing you. They don't want to reshape your personality or smooth out the edges that make you real. They want to learn you, your rhythms, your sensitivities, your quiet joys, your hidden worries. They want to grow alongside you, not ahead of you or behind you. They understand real love isn't perfect behavior. It's showing up repeatedly, even when tired, even when uncomfortable, even when growth requires difficult conversations. And the life they imagine with you feels calm, rather than chaotic, safe, rather than uncertain, grounded, rather than dramatic. They value ordinary moments with you most, sharing meals after long days, sitting together without needing constant words, holding you when old memories surface, letting you rest without explanation, because to them, love lives in everyday presence, not performance, not intensity. Presence. They want to be the calm voice when your thoughts get loud, the steady support when life feels overwhelming, the person who notices your fatigue before you say anything. Their love is about lightening what you carry, about building a life where your heart finally feels protected. And here's the truth about this kind of love. It's rare, because most people love based on what they receive. But this person loves based on what they see. And what they see in you is someone who endured and stayed gentle anyway. Someone who carried pain and stayed compassionate anyway. Someone who kept showing up even when it wasn't reciprocated. So their feelings grow slowly, carefully, intentionally, like something they plan to keep. They're not rushing toward you with dramatic declarations. They're moving steadily towards something real. And when they finally step closer, you'll recognize it in small things. Consistency, reliability, peace. You'll notice you can be tired around them without guilt, quiet without pressure, fully yourself without performing. And that's when you'll understand something important. They were never drawn to your perfection. They were drawn to your truth. They saw the real you and chose you. Not because you needed saving, but because you deserved to finally not carry everything alone. And when that kind of love reaches you, it won't feel overwhelming. It will feel like coming home.